Good morning. I am in Briones Park, which is a huge park in the East Bay, in the San Francisco Bay Area. And I was thinking about sending an email update, but I thought, hey, why not just do a video update and just kind of run you through what I've been working on this week. 11 folks have pre-ordered this course. Thank you. Your feedback has been awesome. Keep it coming. I'm actually making this video for you. And I just want to let you know what I've been up to in a few minutes. So I guess let's get into it. The main things I've been working on is bookending this stuff. So what do I mean? I wrote the introductory content, and then of course I went all the way to the end, Phlex, and I started working on that. If you go to the public website right now, there's a paywall. I'll show you what that looks like. So if you try to look at this content on here right now, you see this pre-order thing. Next week, I got to work on a way for people who've pre-ordered to log in to unlock this. So that's some plumbing that I have to do. For now, I'm going to just change the lock to false. So let's do that. Locked. Nope. Sorry, it's not locked. All right. Let's actually show you what the content looks like. On Phlex, what I start doing here is I pick up from kind of a familiar Rails controller. This is something that we're used to seeing where we're rendering templates. And then I walk through step by step how we are going to inline Phlex views on this. I know this seems a little bit crazy at first, but roll with me here. If you don't end up doing this, you're going to learn a ton. If you do it, you're going to have like Sinatra-like vibes whenever you're building this stuff, which I think is awesome. And you can actually move these views out, which I'm going to get into. So I get into layouts, how to do layouts on views. There's actually a lot of different ways to do that. I've done this enough where I kind of have my best practices where you can actually compose your layout in a separate class onto your views. And then I'm going to go through a lot of like, how do you reduce boilerplate? Because it does get arduous whenever you're constantly doing this like render new stuff. And I'm using a gem that I actually created called SuperView to accomplish that. So this should be pretty interesting. I'm probably halfway through this. I'm going to break this apart, but this should just give you an idea of like, here's kind of how far I'm going to go. I'm going to work Superform into that as well. So you'll be able to like have forms in here, and those will permit their own strong parameters, which is quite nice. So that's kind of the advanced side of things. And then of course on the introductory side, I already had this video out, the introduction, just kind of goes over the bigger picture of the course. I go through why Phlex. This is just to kind of give you context for like, hey, there's a lot of good stuff out there. We got ERB, there's Haml, there's Tilt, there's all these things. So like, why would you pick Phlex? And I think this is not just important for understanding yourself, but also if you're working with a team and you need to explain to them, why should we even bother with this? This is why. I also cover why Rails. That's pretty well documented, to be honest. So I focus less on why Rails and why Phlex and Rails and kind of open up that bigger picture. That's still needs some work. And then, of course, why components. I just started kind of fleshing some of that stuff out. And actually, there's a few things coming on in the component basics. So I'm making progress. I'm going to say next week I'll make some more progress on some of the units. I'll probably rough out another 3 units, maybe. I still have plumbing. Like I said, I have to work on the unlock so that people can get in there and just look at this on their own. I'm hoping next week to have most of the plumbing out of the way, and then I can focus more on the content and flesh it out. And I'm also working on getting a GitHub repo with all the code in it. And actually work from that. Right now, I'm just kind of throwing code samples in here, and it's if you went through this with a fine-tooth comb and you looked at it, the samples would feel kind of all over the place. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to put one project together in a repo and just work from that. So that's a rough overview of the class. I'll show you a couple other things I'm doing if you just kind of want to keep up just for fun. I have this thing called /code, and I'm really just like kind of sharing little interesting snippets of code that I think are interesting. So we have, for example, this table abstraction, which I pulled from another project. This is just to kind of show like, here's some other crazy things you can do with Phlex. I actually use this for the science fair at my local school, so they can manage students and all that stuff. It's pretty handy. And this is like, a less abstracted view. So if you're looking at this like, thinking this abstraction is crazy, it's fine. It is kind of crazy. I just like to see how far I can push it. You don't have to go this far. You can, for example, go this far. And this is just showing like an actual table, and this resembles the HTML a bit more. So I also shared a content paywall. So this is that thing that I just showed you, and I just kind of run through how I'm using various classes and whatnot. And actually Phlex component, I'm not too happy with how this component turned out. Like the end result looks good, but I wouldn't look at this and be like, this is an awesome piece of code. But the way that it solves it is kind of interesting. So I'm like, hey, why not share it? So there's a lot of code there. And then of course, I'm also working on articles. Yeah, I'll show that on a different day. And that's going to be kind of more long form stuff that I share. So that's it. Next week, again, I'm going to be cracking on content and fleshing some more of the stuff out and getting a repo and hopefully wrapping up the plumbing. Again, if you pre-ordered this already, thank you. Your feedback has been awesome. It's been great just sending out individual emails, not like automated emails, and saying hi and what do you want out of this course. If you haven't pre-ordered, there's still 39 slots left as of this recording. So if you go to beautifulruby.com and you want to pre-order this thing, you can buy a course and then pre-order the thing for $249. Once those initial slots are gone, I'm going to kick the price up to $289 before the videos are released. And then for the grand opening, the prices will go up again to $339 whenever the videos are all done. And then, of course, after the first 100 of those go out, then it's going to go up to full price. So check it out. Go to beautifulruby.com. Just look through the course if you want to watch the intro video. And I'm looking forward to getting this content put together. And hopefully in a few weeks, I'm shooting some video and some screenshots and sharing code repos and all that stuff. And I'm cranking video out. All right. I'll see you next week.